For centuries, powerful machines occupied physical space. Factories had walls, power plants had locations, libraries stored knowledge inside buildings. The cloud follows a different architecture. It is everywhere, yet nowhere. No single machine contains it. No single city controls it. Instead, millions of processors work together across continents. One request begins in your hand, another is processed thousands of kilometers away. A third is completed before you notice the delay. To the user, everything appears instantaneous. To the architect, every interaction reveals one of the most sophisticated infrastructures humanity has ever created. The cloud is not a place. It is a planetary computing architecture, one designed to make distance almost disappear. Making distance disappear required something even more extraordinary, a machine unlike any civilization had ever built. Not one processor, not one server, but millions of processors operating as one. Every search, every video, every financial transaction, every artificial intelligence model, every scientific simulation begins its journey inside this invisible machine. The cloud is often described as storage, but storage is only the surface. Its true purpose is computation, to process information, to distribute intelligence, to deliver answers before questions begin to feel like waiting. The modern world no longer depends upon isolated computers. It depends upon a civilization-scale computer, quietly operating behind everyday life. The Industrial Revolution built factories that manufactured products. The Intelligence Age builds factories that manufacture computation. Their raw material is electricity. Their machinery is silicon. Their product is intelligence. Inside these facilities, billions of calculations occur every second, not for one organization, but for millions simultaneously. Businesses analyze markets. Hospitals interpret medical images. Scientists simulate molecular structures. Engineers design future technologies. Artificial intelligence trains upon unimaginable quantities of information. Most people never see these factories, yet every digital experience quietly depends upon them. The cloud is not replacing industry. It is becoming the industry's new foundation. Every digital action appears effortless. Behind that simplicity lies extraordinary complexity. Cloud infrastructure depends upon energy. Energy depends upon resilient electrical grids. Computation depends upon advanced semiconductors. Communication depends upon fiber optic networks spanning oceans. Reliability depends upon thousands of engineers designing systems that rarely fail. One invisible architecture supports another, layer upon layer, system upon system. This is how civilizations become resilient, not through one remarkable invention, but through thousands of interconnected architectures quietly reinforcing one another. The cloud is not powerful because of a single breakthrough. It is powerful because it unites countless breakthroughs into one continuously operating system. For generations, organizations followed the same model. If you needed more computation, you bought more machines, built larger server rooms, hired larger technical teams. Growth required ownership. The cloud quietly changed that equation. Computation became a service. Infrastructure became accessible. Capability became available on demand. A startup could access computing power once reserved for governments. A research team could analyze enormous data sets without building its own data center. A global business could expand into new markets without constructing digital infrastructure from the ground up. The revolution was never about renting servers. It was about removing the barriers between ambition and capability. Scale has always determined competitive advantage. Factories produced more. Ships transported more. Power plants generated more. The cloud introduced a different kind of scale, computational scale. A single application can serve one person, or 1 billion, without redesigning the entire architecture. Artificial intelligence can expand from one experiment to millions of users across continents. Scientific discoveries can be shared instantly. Financial markets can respond in milliseconds. Entire industries can grow without rebuilding their digital foundation. Scale is no longer measured only by physical expansion. It is measured by how efficiently architecture multiplies capability. Civilizations are shaped by the platforms they build. Roads became platforms for trade. Electric grids became platforms for industry. The internet became a platform for information. The cloud is becoming a platform for intelligence. Every new artificial intelligence model, every autonomous application, every digital enterprise, every connected device builds upon the same invisible foundation. This changes the nature of innovation. Organizations no longer begin by constructing infrastructure. They begin by creating value. The architecture already exists, waiting to be used, waiting to be expanded, waiting for the next generation of builders. The future will not belong to those who own every component. It will belong to those who understand how to orchestrate the architecture that already connects them all. Civilization grows more complex every generation. More people, more machines, more information, more decisions. Complexity eventually reaches a point where coordination becomes more valuable than expansion. The cloud emerged at precisely that moment, not simply to connect computers, but to coordinate civilization itself. Data flows through it. Artificial intelligence learns within it. Businesses operate upon it. Scientists collaborate through it. Governments depend on it. Billions of people interact with it every single day. The cloud is no longer just infrastructure. It is becoming the coordination layer of the digital world, an invisible architecture allowing billions of independent systems to function as one. History remembers the machines that changed civilization: the steam engine, the generator, the computer. The next machine is different. It has no single inventor, no single location, no single switch to turn it on. It stretches across continents, powered by countless data centers, connected by oceans of fiber, driven by billions of processors, learning through trillions of interactions. Together, they form something humanity has never possessed before: a planetary computer, not built in one moment, but assembled piece by piece over decades, invisible to most, indispensable to all. The cloud is not replacing the computer. It is expanding the idea of what a computer can become. Most people experience the cloud as convenience. Architects recognize it as architecture. Applications are only the visible surface. Beneath them lies an invisible foundation. Silicon provides computation. The cloud distributes computation. Artificial intelligence transforms computation into intelligence. Together, they form a new operating layer beneath modern civilization. This is why the future will not be defined by one application, one company, or one breakthrough. It will be defined by architectures capable of connecting billions of people, machines, and decisions into one continuously learning system. Technology evolves, products disappear, markets change, but architectures that continuously learn continue creating value long after individual technologies have faded. The future belongs to those who understand not only how to build technology, but how to design the invisible systems that allow technology to shape civilization. The greatest infrastructures in history were never defined by what they built. They were defined by what they made possible. Roads enabled trade. Electricity enabled industry. The internet enabled connection. The cloud enables intelligence at planetary scale. At Asutsen, we look beyond the technologies people use. We explore the invisible architectures that connect them. Because wealth is not built by isolated innovations. It is built by systems that allow innovation to compound. When you understand those systems, you begin to see the future differently. Not as a series of unpredictable events, but as architectures quietly taking shape beneath the surface. And once you learn to recognize those architectures, you no longer wait for the future. You begin designing it. Welcome to Asutsen, architecting wealth, automating future.